2017 Smart Forfour Brabus Xclusive Review. Do you remember the first generation Smart Forfour Brabus? It was launched back in 2005 and was the fastest ever production Smart thanks to a 1.5-liter four-pot that ran sufficient boost to generate 170 for Bishop, enough for some rampant to work steer. After a long hiatus, the Forfour Brabus is back. Unlike its front-drive predecessor, this is rear engine and rear drive like every other Smart. Its 898cc 3-pot kicks out 108 Bishop and drives exclusively through a 6-speed dual-clutch automatic box. If that sounds familiar, that's because it's the same mechanical makeup that underpins the Renault Twingo GT. No surprise, as the cars were developed together and are built in the same factory in Slovenia. Can the Brabus impress more than the underwhelming Renault? The Forfour Brabus may be a tiny car, it's shorter than a VW Up, but it tips the scales at nearly 1,100 kilograms, a good chunk more than the Ford. That means performance that's fairly tepid. The 0-62 mph takes 10.5 cc, which is more than half a second longer than the turbocharged Up. That said, it's enough for it to feel nippy around town, and it does make the fruity rasp from its twin tailpipes. Indeed, it's well suited to city life thanks to the narrow body and hilariously small turning circle that allows you to pull U-turns in all but the tightest of streets. That may sound great, but the chunky alloy wheels don't do the ride any favors at all. Go down a typical potholed UK road and you'll find yourself jostled this way and that, a sensation that's amplified by a lofty driving position. The ride does calm down at higher speeds, but you then face another issue: crosswinds. With a gust, you'll find yourself having to make plenty of minor corrections even with the escape-nipping brakes to try and keep you on the straight and narrow on the motorway. This becomes tiresome very quickly. So what about cornering? There's certainly a lot of mechanical grip, enough to surprise plenty of lower-slung machinery. It also feels a lot more stable than the Forfour while still diving into turns thanks to quick steering. You don't have to push too hard to find the escape, cutting in aggressively to stop it getting too out of shape, though. Throw in plenty of body lean and steering that isn't particularly communicative, and you've got a car that isn't really that enjoyable to drive quickly. The gearbox doesn't help, either. It may be a huge step on from the old automated manual, but shifts still feel ponderous and it's easy to confuse it. As this is an exclusive model, you get leather seats, a leather-look dashboard topper, the 7.0 in infotainment system with sat-nav and a DAB radio, the reversing camera plus auto lights and wipers. That sounds generous until you realize that this is £15 shy of £20,000. I'll repeat that. £20,000. That brings us to the Smart's biggest issue. For that money you could get a proper hot hatch such as a Ford Fiesta Street. If you want something a bit more premium, a Mini Cooper 5-door is cheaper and still loads faster than the Smart. It's not like it feels that plush inside, either. There may be the aforementioned leathery bits, but there's also lots of hard plastic and an infotainment system that looks like it's been lifted straight out of the Renault. Probably because it has. As you may have guessed by now, we can think of much better ways to spend the asking price of the Smart Forfour Brabus. Even if you avoid the luxuries of exclusive trim, you're still spending around £17,000. At the end of the day, if you're after a hot hatch, there are much better alternatives out there. If you really do want the Smart, then save yourself several £1,000s and buy the Renault Twingo GT instead. True, it's also a distinctly average driver's car, but at least you're not wasting quite so much money. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time. Bye bye.